Good evening and hello everyone. Welcome to the Valence League broadcast. My name is Deadly Ghost and I'm here with Joe. I'm joined
JJ
here
just fine.
by JJ. Okay, I was trying not to butcher it, but like Jotaro Kujo, I believe is how we pronounce it.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. Welcome everybody to the Valence Lead. This is Division 4. It's going to be Claytrons versus the Full Send Happy Academy. These players are going to be facing off. Full Send Happy Academy making the Split 3 Division 1 um, repeat. Hopefully, to be getting a lead again in this split again. What are your prospects that you're looking for going into the season so far?
Well, s because it's so early in the split, I want to give the all the teams at least a chance to show themselves. Maybe see some upgrades, see some maybe some teammate. Well, hopefully they didn't make some some downgrades. So I just want to see, you know, how the teams are feeling, how is going, and just to see if just to get a feel of how the teams are going to be doing this split, because we also had a lot of changes in the off season.
Yes, that is definitely correct. A lot of new players being interchanged out, just like with last week we had with Hentai Even. They've also been like Premier League finishers, and them also having to make some small roster changes, but also being able to always compete every single season with the same competitive intensity has always been fantastic. And I'm very excited to see how Fulson, Happy, and Claytrons are going to be turning this game out.
Yeah, definitely agreeing with you there. Uh, we're going to have a very fun series. I'm hoping to see a lot of action here, and I'm hoping. Well, I don't know about you, JJ, but I'm hoping we get a full series today.
Ooh. All right, it seems that we are going to be getting a best of three, and let's get this underway. I'm excited to see how this game turns out. What are your prospects? What are you looking for right now? Because we looked at the matchups, right? We looked at the huge roster that the the Full Sun Happy has with a decent amount of subs it still have left, and then there's also the Claytrons who has no subs at the moment, so they could probably interchange some players and stuff. Their roster is very extensive. Have any things from their comps stood out to you, to say the least?
Well, like you said, a team that has basically a sub in every role can well, they have the opportunity to be flexible, and also you can have like different players have a different synergy uh with maybe the main team or the sub team, depending on who they play with more. So it should be a little bit more difficult to predict what they're going to play as the Claytrons. However, if you're full send academy, it could also be a detriment, because having a 10-man roster and then trying to create some sort of synergy between everyone is going to be a little bit of a difficult task, as we've seen previously in multi-man rosters, even in like the best of the best leagues. So I'm hoping their coaching staff is working on that, on like all 10 players being very, very, the coaching staff and the players working with each other, and everything going smoothly.
Okay, it is going to be fine here. Let's take a look at what the bans have been so far. It seems that Varys, Lilia, and Kiana so far has been banned. Then we also have an opposition. We have Vi, Ezreal, and Wukong. Very strong ban so far. What could you tell us about like some of the reasons as to why they might be banning out some of these champions?
Concerning Varys and Israel, they have been consistently two of the best marksmen this patch. Ezreal receiving a lot of buffs this patch, and a lot of extra damage, a lot of mana refund. So basically, have a lot more playmaking abilities as Ezreal. So very very good. It's also in Full Send's wheelhouse. So you kind of want them not getting off of that. A lot of jungle bans like Vi, Wukong, Lilia, a lot of strong junglers dispatch, so limiting the jungle option, sorry, the jungle pool.
Mhm.
And uh, we saw Maokai, which could have been jungle, but now with the lock-in of the Xin Zhao, it's almost certain that this Maokai is going to be going in the support role, which is not uncommon these days. I've seen a lot more Maokai support than I've anticipated.
No, of course, like Maokai being able to use their full map coverage on their Nature's Torment, and also being able to secure very extensive dives with having Xin Zhao and its challenge mechanic, being able to single out targets, especially like Ash, being able to jump on her before she's allowed to pivot. But they do happen to have Cassante to try to create a very big space between them and the rest of the team, and now we're going to be going in the second cycle of bans. Look like we're banning Trundle here. What do you make of this?
Yep, yeah, it does. It does seem like they want to ban out Trundle, which has been a little bit of standard practice for top lane now. For a top lane, let's just say, uh, let's not say counter, but like a favorable matchup into the Cassante, and also Trundle can split push very easily. So I think they're just banning out a few champions that could be detriments to Cassante and just limit Marsargo's champion pool to maybe something he's not comfortable on.
And we also have the last bans being Vladimir and Hue. Hue being a bit of a mainstay, being one of the strongest control mages in the meta currently. Have you been able to see a whole lot of Vladimir popping off recently or no?
I have seen some Vladimir being played. I think it's player to player. I think there are a few better picks than Vladimir currently, but I still think that given the right circumstances and the right team comp, especially with a lot of roots and CC like Zinza and Makai, sorry, with a lot of CC like from the Nocturne and the Ash, uh, it could have been a very decent Vladimir game, but I'm seeing the Rumble and I'm seeing the Cassandra and I'm thinking those two champions are interchangeable. So basically, uh, it is besides the fact that they have a 10-man roster, they also have a lot of flex picks here. So it's very interesting to see what champion goes where and how this team comp will be completed. And this would be a very interesting lock-in.
Because Mars Argo, from my recollection, looking at his champion roster here right now, he hasn't really played too much of Maokai, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a pivot here from Milio and Ari here for a little bit of extra coverage and a team fight potential. Look like they're trying to go for picks right now.
Yep, definitely seems so. And yeah, I'm I'm a little confused whether that Maokai is going top lane or in the jungle because I've seen some Zinzao top lane. It's fairly decent. It can trade well into Cassante. It would be a little bit unorthodox, but not unheard of.
All right, looks like our team is set. It's going to be Castante look likes to be going to top lane versus the Maokai, and the bot lane is going to be Rumble Sop, or potentially with
Okay,
Talia,
now,
or it could be Talia mid Rumble. It could be Talia support Rumble mid potentially. What do you think of that?
uh, I mean, yeah, Talia is definitely. I think I like Talia into Ari simply because of how she can neutralize her by having more range than her on her Q. The being sorry, the Unraveled Earth being available to stop Ari from dashing unless she wants to take half her HP bar in rocks. And Rumble support. It feels like something is cooking here. Maybe a little too much, but we'll see that throughout the game. But it's not something we haven't seen. But versus Milio Zeri, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe it's a secret pocket pick that we haven't seen so far. Maybe it's something else. But I'm definitely interested in seeing how this lane will develop, especially because Ash Rumble can poke you out very easily. However, you do have Milio for the healing and the shielding, so it's going to be a very interesting bot lane to watch.
That is definitely going to be the case. A lot of Zeri options are currently going for Titanic Hydra, a little bit more of a tankier line when playing around with Zeri items at the moment. I think one of the highest um, uh, winning builds right now is involving Titanic at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's the Titanic Hydra. I think the item was called Experimental Hexplate, the one
Hmm.
that gives you the extra cooldown on your ultimate and gives you some extra attack speed and movement speed while your ultimate, while when you cast your ultimate. So it is something that that Zeri likes to do. It's a very team fight oriented build, and Zeri becomes a pseudo tank basically with that build. But we'll see if Shenzhen will go for it, and it's I've seen like three different variations of Zeri builds coming up. But yeah, I definitely want to see the Titanic Hydra build.
Okay. And what do you think currently that is going between Claytrons um, and Full Send's minds right now? Like, what are their teams looking to do at the moment?
Well, Full Send basically wants to get to basically wants the Nocturne to get to that level 6 mark because pre level 6 Nocturne doesn't have too much of dueling capability when compared to the Zinzao. So as Femboy here, great nickname. You want him to go for those early trades, maybe a 2v2 in the top lane because Cassante before level 6 doesn't have too much power, and well, neither does Maokai, but Maokai Zinzao I think I would prefer over Cassante Nocturne just a little bit in that skirmish. Or maybe if a 2v2 mid lane happens, you could have some help. But I also want to see the Zinzao basically paying a lot of attention to this bot lane pre level 6 because Zeri Milio being a little bit more vulnerable in the early game when you have the Ash Rumble to poke them out.
Uh, so they would be having to play a little bit more around their minions, try to focus it, especially with Zeri being able to use most of her components to get through it, and also getting the added bonus range with her Spark Surge and being able to get through the wave to be able to poke them down, hopefully in return, and getting the extra range on Milio's W when able to.
Cozy Fire, I believe, is,
Hmm.
or Cozy Campfire, something like that. But yeah, uh, yeah, definitely, I want this. That lane could be exploited. The bot lane could explode in an instant, and if this full send happy bot lane goes very aggressive, if we see a lot of happy plays as we like to call them early on, we could definitely see the Claytron squad just utilizing those happy plays to to their advantage, especially with the Zins out that can slow people and have a knock up, and just offer them that little bit of extra skirmishing power in a 3v3 or a 3v2.
All right, looks like we have our good luck, have funs already. Large amounts of sportsmanship coming out from them. And let's see what they're going to be aiming for here. Possibly a 5 point, could possibly go for an invade. Let's see what their options are going to be. It's just going to look like a classic 5 point.
Yeah, it is looking like a 5 point. I think we're going for a little bit more of a conservative start on both sides. I think as you don't really want to fight too much in the level 1 if you're Claytrons, and Full Send Happy just look like they just want to secure a decent start for this Nocturne. But never mind, we're seeing a little bit of early trading, a few love taps here and there between the mid laners.
Yeah, a little bit of a lap tap with the Foxfire, getting a Mana Flow brand proc go off on their end. So it looks like they're a little bit up by mana, which is pretty nice on an early pivot.
Yep, Manifold Band get it stacking early on, enhance that Ari's mana pool as much as possible. Also, it's a very effective Airy being picked here is a very effective trading tool because you don't need that triple stack like the electrocute to proc it early, especially since someone like Talia wouldn't let you get in three procs to get that electrocute. So smart choice uh, in the runes department from Kuksana, but we're already seeing this bot lane getting poked out by Ash and Rumble, and it is going to be like that for the early game. I don't want to sugarcoat it, but it does look like it'll be that way.
Yeah, you will probably need some femboy assistance real quick. Some hearts, I guess, would probably be appropriate. Send some love over there would be the best alternative for them. So we do have some big boy trades on the top lane. Mars Argo using Bramble Smash to hit them out of the wave a little bit. They do happen to have Twisted Advance up. They're not looking to use it yet. Gonna be taking a look at.
Yeah, it looks like this wave is going to be slowly but surely pushing into Mars Argo. That's definitely going to be okay for him. he can he can just farm it out with that bramble smash. He has the passive as well for that extra little bit of sustain, so he can trade fairly decently into this Cassante, and like we're already seeing, he actually they are basically equal in the health and mana department. And if he catches all of these minions, he's actually going to be ahead in farm. So very nice start to this early game. But wow,
All
yeah.
right, looks like our Shenzhen Zeri here look like they're eating a whole bunch of harpoon shots to the face right now.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit cooked in the bot lane right now, but luckily you have healing flames on the Milio to help with the enemy flames coming in from the rumble. Sorry, I was trying to make a fire analogy, but it went very bad there.
Don't worry, it was pretty lit. I liked it.
That was funny. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. I got you. I got you. Looks like Ultra Shock Laser is coming out. Right now they're being poked out. Cleanse is being pulled out. Let's see if they get to kill here. Nothing secured so far. All
Yeah, it
right.
does. Yeah, it does look like Mrs. Combe tried to go for the ignite and maybe for the overheat extra damage autos, but yeah, this Zeri being able to dash away and the extra movement speed from Milio, as well as the Q pushing back Mrs. Combe, definitely helped Shenzhen stay alive there. So very decent trade from the Claytrons bot lane. However, it still results in them losing summoners and this Ash being 10 CS ahead and already having the back completed means she's just going to get a few early items in and a, much bigger tempo advantage for this full send happy bot lane.
And it looks like the grubs here on top side looks like nobody's coming to contest it right now. The mid laner Talia's looking to come here and just help secure it. The objective, and Mrs. Cromwell, of course, right now in this new season 14 supports coming up to help secure objectives. Almost unheard of season 13, but it looks like it's going to be a very commonplace thing.
Yeah, you had the push in mid lane. The bot lane for full send already had reset, so it potentially could have been a five stack, and you couldn't know as the Claytrons whether you had five people there, and the bot lane was not quick, not the quickest in rotating around after that back. Important to note that the RE Spirit Dash had to be used to avoid a gank from this mid lane.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Couldn't really re-engage on it, getting her charm or anything off because she had no idea what the rest of their team was, so she didn't want to go for a risk on it. Which is relatively smart if you want to try and mitigate any chances of fumbling the ball there, not knowing what the rest of the teams is, especially if the support is there. You can't be risking making any silly plays at the moment.
No, no, definitely not. I mean, as R, you're always happy with getting a few resets in, and getting to utilize your ultimate to the fullest. But oh, hold up, we might be seeing an
Okay,
engage here.
all right. Looks like we have Twisted Advance. Looks like All Out has been activated, and it doesn't look like a First Blood.
Oh my god,
Oh, oh no! Oh,
Mars
unfortunately,
Argo.
taking that L on it right now, and looks like they're securing this Drake right now. I don't know about you, but it does look incredibly good.
All Out has was used. Mars Argo tried to get the root in, tried to get the Bramble Smash in to for the knockback. However, uh, why so errant? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mhm.
Just use the unstoppable dash from Cassante, which now hasn't been still hasn't been nerfed. That's coming in next patch, and uh just utilizing Cassante's full kit to close in that distance and get the solo bolo.
That's right. Not having a champion like Trundle being able to pressure a champion like Cassante is possibly going to be one of the toughest challenges this team is going to have to face.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be much more difficult for this for this Maokai lane. I'm wondering maybe if they were thinking about Orn, because Orn usually has a little bit of an easier time into Cassante, but I'm guessing Maokai is maybe more in Marsargo's wheelhouse, because Maokai is still fairly potent. Like I said, you have the passive for the extra sustainability, you have the grasp of the undying, you have the healing, you have a little bit of well, a little more than a little bit of damage to deal with, as we saw there, because it got fairly close to Marsargo actually getting the kill. But ooh,
Not to cut you short here, Kasana is looking, trying to find an engage here, misses the charm, goes wide. Looks like that disengage is completely not gone there, and Sam Vite having to use both summoners to get out there. And Miss Comber also following suit, having to use their flash as well.
yeah, that it this bot lane for Full Send Happy nearly made a happy play, but uh, luckily they dodged the engage. The Ash Arrow didn't hit anyone, if I'm not mistaken, so they couldn't make a play off of that. The Ari gank was unfortunately for the Claytrons unsuccessful, but Fulson Happy's bot lane playing it fairly decently, dodging out of everything and just managing to get out with their lives is, I believe, a success for them, despite them having to use three summoners to get out.
That's definitely the case. And right now, Grubs, the second set of them, full six is now for Full Send Happy, and they have to be extremely happy right now.
Yeah, if you're Fulson Happy, you're definitely going to be delighted with having six void grubs. You just have to now utilize it, which I think uh I think the best user of this could be this Talia, simply because of how easy she can push the wave, and if Diari tries to roam in again, you can have this Talia just grab a plate, follow up with her wall, and still be able to make the an equal trade, and an equal player fight. So I'm interested in seeing this. Maybe this bot lane has now turned a little bit on its head because oh,
Oh, I
uh,
love this alt layering here, but unfortunately did not get a chance to see Equalizer and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, unfortunately not being able to secure a kill on our opposing bot lane.
yeah, very nice Captain Jack from the side of Shenzhen there, using that cleanse. Uh, and actually, this bot lane has now gone from Shenzhen being 10 CS down to Shenzhen being 10 CS up. So very nice recovery from Shenzhen after that little bit of early game poke. So have to commend him on that. And the Zeri is only going to get scarier and scarier, and the Sash in the later stages of the game is going to fall out a little bit compared to the Zeri scaling. So oh 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 no, swing and a miss.
All right, that is unfortunate here. That gang did not go off by Femboy. Tribush being warded. Looks like they're trying to look for an angle here. Sea Joke is currently just stalking that bush, slithering in, looking for
They're
an
just
angle.
Yeah, I think they're just trying. Both teams are just trying to look for some possibilities of what they could do. Oh,
Looks like Mrs. Crummick kind of sold them there on this thing, on this play. Hawkshot being used by Samvite, trying to get vision on the objective here. Looks like our mid lane, Savannah, trying to look for an angle to get in here. Oh, it looks like Femboy's going in. They're pulling the trigger on the fight. Let's see if something can happen here. Crescent Guard being activated. That we do happen to have here a charm, and right now Samvete has all ended up taking down Femboy. Can we take a look back and see how that happened?
yeah, well, it just looks like they dodged. And that was just very nicely played from the side of Full Send Happy. Uh, Also, you have you have that Cassandra getting dangerously close to dying, but managed to get back to the bases, going back to lane, and Full Send Happy are still commandeering a small lead. They have the two drakes, the six grubs, and out. This is the neutral objectives have currently been going up till now in their favor, but we might just see the first neutral objective take from the side of Claytrons, which well, it looks like it's not going to happen because they spot out Femboy trying to go for this Rift Herald, and it's just going to be he's just going to be dissuaded from getting it. And now we see, I think at this point it's become a little bit of a wet noodle fight in the top lane.
Oh, okay. Great equalizer coming out again after Crystal Shot. Crystal Arrow. Looks like nothing's gonna be happening. Uh, are we gonna be seeing the 2v2 or 3v3 potential fight happen here? Are they gonna just let them get the Herald? Sea Joke does happen to have ulti right now on lock. Oh no, who's Ernst is gonna go in on this player right now. Sea Joke is going in also as well. They're gonna be using the spacing here from Unraveled Earth to try to keep them off of this objective. But it does look like bot side is also getting harassed down here as well. Nobody can help them on this play, but it looks like lightning crash has happened and they got Mrs. Crumb. Unfortunately, getting them on that play, making them waste flash, making them waste ignite, and equalizer also not being up to secure any kills on Shenzhen has put them in a bit of a situation.
Yeah, so this is basically what I was saying about being able to handle the poke on this bot lane. Ooh, ooh,
Looks like
fanboy.
Femboy dancing right now. Are they going to be letting go of this Herald? They possibly might. Savannah is not going to be looking for an angle to try charm here to get some poke down to force them out to the lane. Looks like they're just going to be shaking hands on this play right now.
Hmm. No, doesn't it does look like fanboy wanted to go for the contest there, but ju- uh, just the power of the Talia in this mid game is enough to push him out, and yeah, I thought that maybe a few kills were going to go down for the side of Full and Happy, but the Claytrons are just able to dash out, and another engage happening onto Mrs. Crocombe, and ooh,
Okay, looks
that's
like
a
a
very
teleport is
nice
going to be
kill.
happening here from Artilia here. Is that play going to be made? They do happen to have Weaver's Wall up. Doesn't look like they're going to be going for anything. They're probably just going to try to secure their mid turret.
Yeah, I think I think Mrs. Crocombe is definitely overestimating the power of this support rumble and overplaying overplaying their cards a little bit, because Rumble in a solo lane, very scary. You get a few levels under his belt. You have the Rumble dealing a lot of damage, but now I'm going to stop myself mid sentence because we might see a nice top lane fight.
Why so Ernest is going to be using all out again. Going to be chaining a whole combo of Antofo strikes. Looks like it's going to be forcing Mars aggro out of the lane. It's going to be a bit of a reset here.
Yep, Mars Argo is just going to use that flash to get out. The TP was just used by YSO Ernest, and so you're going to you're going. It's basically a summoner trade flash for TP. Mars Argo's TP is about to be up very very sooner, so maybe you can have him make a few plays. But this is where the power of the six drops comes in, because YSO Ernest is just demolishing the turret here and netting a turret for his team, and just this gold lead is slowly but surely increasing. But whoa, that's a nice flash.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge pick here that they got on Samvite using the lightning crash to get a huge amount of burst damage on her. Looks like she's going for a standard Eddie carry crit build.
Yeah, it does look like the Stone Razor build is coming in, and you're already seeing it in action. Like you have a lot of bursts between the Zinzao, the Zeri, and the Ari coming in. So I like it. I like the build. Like I said, I would have liked to see the Titanic Hydra build, but I also understand why the Storm Razor build is coming in. Shenzhen definitely having a lot of success on it after that early game poking happening around, and this is going to be one scary Zeri as this game progresses on.
Okay, Fembai is possibly eyeing mid lane again. A TP is coming out from Kasana. No, Mars Argo actually. Looks like are they going to be caught out again?
No, it
Nature's
doesn't.
graft being used, but sadly enough to no avail. Mrs. Crocombe is looking for a play here. No equalizers being used, but unfortunately, Sea Joke coming here and using Paranoia to claim the kill here on Femboy. What a turnaround kill.
Yeah, after you use almost all of your cooldowns to try to catch the Ash and you miss, you don't have enough of damage to just get to that Maokai. So it's going to be a quick turnaround, quick two kills for this full send happy squad, and Now they're starting out the Baron, and maybe they have enough. Ooh, that's a flash.
This
So
could
maybe
possibly be a bait play. Oh, whoa. But a bait in possibly the opposite direction because Sam Vete is getting picked off again. Are they Talia's? Oh, she got picked off by the charm right now. She's looking for a way out, but unfortunately, Shenzhen is not letting them go.
well, if you're going to use everything on everyone else, and then not the Zeri is basically going to get only hit by they also killed some Vete, and the Zeri is now 4-0. You have Navori and Stormrazor being completed. Two items for the Zeri along with the Berserker Greaves. And well, it's a much closer game. It's a much closer game for between these two squads simply by the power of the Zeri and how fit she is right now.
That is definitely the case. Looks like support and top lane are currently down by Dragon, trying to secure summon, and looks like we're gonna be another re-engage on Femboy, but Grant Crescent Guard protecting his life for the most part. And we have Mars Argo, Grant Equalizer coming up from Mrs. Kokombe. They're trying to look for a way in. Mars Argo having to flash out. They're trying to deal with the poke right now from the Shenzhen. Gonna probably have to retreat here. Weiser Ernest is looking for an angle. Can't find anything at the moment. This possibly might be a Baron play.
Yeah, and even though they don't get any kills, get they get the health bars very low on this Claytron squad. So they're basically going to force them to come at Baron, and maybe they have the turnaround possibility because the all out is still available. But a few ultimates for this Claytron squad have come up. So I think that Fools and Happy are just going to back off. Realize that maybe it's a little bit of an over aggressive try to go for Baron, and just take a small chill pill, reset, and try to focus on their next objective.
Femboy just looking to farm up their jungle a little bit here, securing blue buff for everybody. Mid lane is being pushed down by Full Sun Happy. Looks like trying to secure some bit of vision on Drake at the moment. Both teams looking to farm up a little bit, buy some items. We have about 50 seconds in before Drake spawns.
Yeah, Drake is spawning very soon. I think both teams realizing that they don't have enough of damage to just fully trade the Baron for Drake. So they just want to get their waves pushed in, secure some vision. But it looks like Claytrons are doing much much better on the vision department, or at least securing vision for this Drake. But Full Send Happy are just looking to get in and simply brute force their way into grabbing a lot of the vision. And the Rift Scuttler. Ooh,
Oh, wow. That insane amount of burst from the Talia just now. The equalizer being used. Mars Argo having to use Twisted Advance and Nature's Graphs to try to secure and peel for their Zarya at the moment. Unfortunately, Weiser Ernest having that Rooker and being able to sustain so much extra damage from all their AP. But Ari on the back line, Savannah is looking for an angle here, but looks like to be a 3 for 3.
yeah. So Weiss basically dived onto this backline and managed to kill the Zeri and Emilio. However, Femboy and uh Femboy on the Zinzao and this Ari just diving in onto the backline of Full Send Happy and just bursting out the Talia the Ash and making it an equal trade of 3v3, because initially it looked like Full Send Happy were just going to mow them down and get the kills, but the fact that it actually came down as an even trade makes it so much better for the Claytrons, especially with how they were starting to lose vision and the waves were pushing in towards them. So it could have ended very bad for them. Kudos to both Femboy and uh, Su Suksana. I think for getting those kills.
That's right. Looks like Femboy looking for the angle. Femboy looking for angle. Crescent Guard is going to be activated here. Him being a peel off. Is the team going to react? They're trying to wait for their cooldowns to come up. Unfortunately, Shenzhen can't really be part of the fight right now. They're completely chunked. Super low at the moment. And this does look like a Drake angle for Full Set Happy right now.
Yeah, you have the jungler dead. You have the Thalia wall. Oh wow, that's very good. You
Yes, we
have the
have Weaver
Thalia.
Wall being used by the YVL at the moment. Are they going to be looking for some fight here? No, it looks like they're just going to concede the Drake. Having to use Nature's Grasp, unfortunately, but can't really secure anything on that play.
I think that was a little bit of an optimistic nature's grasp. Maybe Marsargo tried to look for something, and maybe they would have caught out someone, but this Ash with now two items completed definitely has enough damage to burst it out. We saw there Shenzhen got engaged on by this Nocturne because they were a little bit too far in the front, and they nearly got bursted out. And then Femboy with the ultimate just pushing everyone away from their AD carry. However, in the process, they gave up their life, and Smite versus no Smite. I think I'm going to give that one to the Smite team 99% of the time.
Being able to secure your objectives with your summoner spell, unheard of.
Nah, definitely doesn't happen.
All right, looks like we're trying to play this mid game here. We're heading a little bit into the late game at the moment. Right now, it is dead heat at the moment. Only a 1.4 and 1.5k goal difference. It could be just one team fight that could spend this whole game on its head.
Yeah, it's a very close game. At one point, Full Send Happy Academy had a 3,000 gold lead, but now It's shrunken down to like 1,500, and it's a very close game between these two teams. The gold is allocated on different people. In these squads, you see three items being completed for the Cassandra versus 2.5 for the Maokai. On the opposite end, you have 2.5, nearly three items for the Zeri versus the Ash having two items and a few daggers. So on one end you have a bigger tank in the form of Cassandra. On the other hand, you have Zeri being a little bit more fed. That is not the accurate gold graph. That I saw Sivir there, and I was just like, "Oh,
Uh, yeah, right now the gold difference between both bot lanes is just between 1k gold. I think almost all of the gold right now is in the bot lane. Weiser Ernest also does have a little bit of a gold lead above their lane opponent in Mars Argo, but both are respectively are playing a tank. So build HP, do good damage, and I think they're fine.
yeah, yeah." Both mid laners being on three items. Zeri now completing the third item. You having the Hurricane, so a little bit more combat power in Shenzin's hands, but it's all going to be for naught if Nocturne and this Cassante get onto the Zeri.
All right. The question on anybody's lips, I wonder if Shenzhen here is going to be running a Lord Doms to try to cut through a little bit of Mrs. Kokombe because she's starting to build a little bit of HP. You also happen to have Weiser Ernest, who has way more HP than she does, and it can help do a lot of AoE pen damage to all of their team. So it'd be really handy to have.
I mean, you basically have you have a lot of items, a lot of armor stacking uh, on this Casante, and a fair bit of armor on the Nocturne as well with those plated steel caps. So it's very fun to see. I would definitely like to see a Lord Dominic's happening as we see the biggest wet noodle fight that I've ever seen in this bot lane. Two tanks just slapping each other.
Does look like Soul Point is going to be coming up relatively soon. They're just sort of hovering, trying to secure a little bit of vision for both ends of the teams. Pinks have been placed by Claytrons at the moment. Trying to move in on their jungle right now. See if they could try to establish a pick. Scuttle. Oh my god, the passing of Scuttle sold it to Claytrons right now. Twisted Advance has been also used as well. Great equalizer. Shenzhen can't find an angle to come to walk in on. It looks like this could possibly be again another Baron angle, but this time they possibly just might end up securing it.
Yeah, full send happy. Getting a catch onto this Zenza. It might not be enough though because this Ari is very powerful. The Zeri still has the ultimate, and it might just not happen. You see Shenzhen using the ultimate, the Ari using the ultimate, and wow, that's a big burst.
And C Joke right now also getting picked off. We have Kasana looking for an angle from the side. Blast Plan being used out to get them out of this play. Mystic Combe is also looking for a way out as well. And Baron has been secured.
It looked like full send happy. Well, they happily fully sent it in two directions because half of the squad was fighting Baron, half of the squad was trying to turn onto people, and in the end they lost both their
Teammates and the
teammates.
objective.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of
Possible
indis.
miscommunication
Yeah,
on one end, maybe
Yeah.
Somebody probably wanted to have somebody engaged. Joke couldn't get out, especially with Baron giving extra damage to them since it does reduce the armor magic resist and also deals damage to whoever's in the pit as well, which makes them a no hold, no way out situation. It just made it almost
Yeah.
impossible.
Yep, and also if you're standing friend tip for all you league players out there who don't know, standing with your back standing on the backside of Baron like C joke was standing there actually makes Baron deal more damage to you, so be careful on your positioning in the Baron pit as well. So definitely a little bit of a mistake on C joke's side. Full send happy, definitely having two sets of communication, but
Oh, and
oh
YVL is currently being caught out here right now, trying to push the wave for their team, but unfortunately not being able to do so. This could possibly be another tower from bot side. Full send happy, just probably to use your words correctly, kind of fully sending it right now.
yeah, a little bit. YVL was pushed up very far into the lane without having proper vision. So they tried to go for the back. They tried to get safely back in base. However, the vision plant being popped revealed them, and well, Claytrons they basically said see champion kill champion. Uh,
That does seem to be the name of the game for this game right now. Femboy, even though he does not have a whole lot of kills in his belt, he does happen to have a lot of KP, having over 7 assists, has been one of the main contributors of them being able to get a lot of these angles, a whole lot of picks on Semvete, on YVL, and a Mrs. Kakambe.
yeah, the squishies on this full send happy squad have been definitely picked off by this 7-1 Ari by the Fed Zinzao, and this is the third Drake in a row that is going Claytron's way, but that's a nice engage.
Definitely the KC joke using paranoia here to try to see if they can find an angle to get in on, but unfortunately not being able to do so since Equalizer was not able to be used, and you also happen to have Weaver's Wall also not coming out either. Now
No,
Bex,
Mars, who?
go ahead.
Engage
Go.
maybe?
Oh, looks
Maybe.
like an angle here. YVL also getting picked off again. Shenzhen looking for an angle, using the Hurricane here as form of engage, getting all of those kills, farming some KDA, and they're going to be looking to get an angle here on them. Weiser Earls getting picked off by Femboy using Ari's charm to help secure that kill.
Wow, that's an incredible fight. You had you had the whole squad basically going in trying to get the Drake, but they don't get that. Yeah, Mars Hargo using the Makai ultimate to defend and just dissuade the fight, and then the health bars on the side of Wilson Happy were much lower. So I don't know why they just didn't take a more defensive route and try to just defend the inhibitor. Instead, they opted for a little more of an aggressive padding, and Fanboy just hit the W onto YVL and just went in, got everyone out. Shenzhen, with the help of this Milio, just managed to free fire onto everyone. And well, congratulations to Claytrons for taking game one in tonight's series, but YVL definitely didn't have a good game this in the start of this best of three series.
I think it had to be a little bit of where the role of what Talia needs to be doing in a whole lot of fights. They did end up putting the Weaver's Wall down a decent amount of times, but unfortunately they weren't able to secure any of the objectives while using it, and possibly the way. And like it's a very tricky champion to secure any objectives with because you need to create a space that your team can use the engagement on, especially with Crystal Arrow. You don't want to also dissuade your team not being able to get on your opponent's teams as well. So finding a way to do that is very difficult, especially with Shenzhen's playing so far behind, so far back. It was almost impossible for YVL to get an angle that way.
Yeah, and also it's a Zeri. She's not going to have any issues jumping over a Talia wall with Hri and just going in on a fight. However, that could have been utilized by Full Send Happy to just try and catch out. But yeah, outside of one fight near the Drake pit when Wise Honest managed to get all out onto Shenzhen. Shenzhen was basically untouched in these team fights. Like maybe you would see one member on the side of Fulls and Happy focus on Shenzhen, but then you would have this Milio just healing and shielding this Zeri who would just free fire onto everyone. And the unsung hero of this game, Suksana, just getting slowly but surely getting fed on this Ari, managing to go for four items, I believe, towards the end there, and a nearly fully stacked Magi. So definitely a very nice game for this Ari, especially in a matchup that's a little bit more difficult to play when you're against a Talia. So I'm very happy to see Suksana having a very good game, and especially being able to focus down uh, these squishier members in the team fights.
Because I did like the fact that it tried to put YVL on the sideline, but unfortunately, since YVL didn't get a chance to do that early, they weren't ever able to make use of the six grubs they were able to secure in the earlier stages of the game. They got some early towers, but they weren't able to capitalize on it because of a couple of inopportune fights, inopportune picks, missequencing of abilities, and I think I kind of understand why some ultimates weren't used because you try want to secure them for a next fight, and since the kills were down by only 30 seconds, you can have it up for the next fight probably. I still feel like at least trying to use it is still to some benefit, to say the least.
Yeah, and to add to what you're saying, I feel like the rotations from both the Ari and the Zenzo. Yeah, uh, the rotations from both the Ari and the Zenza were very good. So we had some very good rotating around the map. Outside of the few grub takes that we had from Full Send Happy, everything else was definitely going Claytron's favor. So congratulations to them again. We are going to be sending it to a short break, but don't go anywhere. Grab your favorite snack. Grab a refill of water or your favorite drink, and we will be back in a few short moments for game two. Man, I am rusty.
That's okay, buddy. That's all right. My job is to help you out, so it's okay.
Oh,
No,
so
I have a
yeah.
habit of constantly sending it off to the co-caster so that they can have more airtime. Because then when
Yeah.
I'm doing play-by-play, I will go fast and I won't stop until I'm done, and then I'll pass it off to you to get your insights to figure out like how you feel about the plays, about the game, etc.
Oh
Um,
my god.
so don't worry about it. I got you. My throat is fucking burning right now, so I'll see if I could try to secure me some tea real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Oh, Dead Ghost. Oh, okay. Word. I noticed it, but it's fine. Our job is not to pull attention to it. We're just about to talk about the game. It's fine.
Sorry?
You're doing hella good so far, so don't worry about it.
No.
No? Okay. Then he's
I'm
not
my,
doing good.
I'm my own biggest critic.
Well, I'm ready whenever you are. Dead Ghost, you can bring us.
To the Valence League broadcast, we are about to start game two between Full Send Happy and Claytrons. Game one went Claytrons' way after some very nice team fighting around the objectives. If you're joining us right now and you missed game one, I'm Dead the Ghost. With me is still and Cujo.
Hi,
We're
everybody.
we're having a very good series so far, and I'm hoping that it continues that way.
That is definitely the case, Ghost. I kind of like the back and forth that we've had so far. You get to see in the nitty-gritty situations of like team fights or setting up objectives, you get to see like where everybody's mind is at when people are playing their match out. So having to see Clayton just played calm, cool, collected, while False and Happy was just trying to find a way in edgewise. It was very difficult for them. Having a femboy using Crescent Guard to kind of peel a whole lot of the ranged abilities from a lot of the champions, and the only champion that they had go in was their Cassante. It was very difficult for them to do anything.
Yeah, you had some very mobile carries with the Ari and Zeri just having a lot of access to a lot of the squishy members in the backside. YBL and some better on the Talia on the edge just being exploitable, especially with the Zinzao just diving onto the backline, helped out by this Milio.
All right, looks like Milio currently here is being banned out, being one of the biggest proponents to letting Nazaria pop off that game. Looks like they just want to seal it off right now.
Yeah, I think they just want to deny the Milio from the Claytrons because Milio just offers you so much gameplay, but playmaking potential. As this with your squad, and you basically also get a get out of jail card with the Millia ultimate. So definitely definitely happy to see it go away, and they decide to take away the Maokai as well. They don't want to see Marsargo piloting that again.
All right, looks like the other ban here is gonna be Varus Kiana Lilia again. Not too much has changed in terms of bans, but Hui does happen to be making appearance right now in this game.
The artist is making his entrance known, and never mind.
I
We got
do,
trolled.
I do really like Renata Glass here, which does give any of the potential carries or top lane an option of being to survive a little bit longer in a lot of these fights. and of course using her ultimate to be able to use it as either a disengage or turnaround mechanic is going to be beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting to see. Usually we don't see Renata Glass picked this early. However, I still like her. As a support lot, you have a lot of playmaking capabilities, and the ultimate is still a very impactful one. The Samira being locked in is actually something new.
I
Uh,
really like this a whole lot, to be honest,
hmm.
because it gives you a second champion that allows you to dive with the Zin. And see Joke actually taking away Zin from them. So I want to see how this is going to turn out. We have Poppy as a bit of a counter engage. It's going to be kind of nice. She can lock this Samira down. She could possibly lock this Inzan down as well. And she's overall like really high damage or really tanky, depending on what build you want to go with her.
Yeah, this. Ooh, okay. So I'm seeing the Poppy locked in, and I see Zinzao, I see Maokai. I'm thinking maybe the Maokai support, or maybe Maokai top lane is going into Claytron's hands right now, and the Poppy just basically wants to dissuade everything that Zinzao and Maokai want to do. So, Claytrons with basically an answer to Full Send Happy's attempts at replicating their own team comp from game one, and we see Vladimir and Hui getting banged. So YVL is going to have to resort to something else in this game, which I'm fairly sad. I like seeing Hui getting played. I know that he's a nightmare for casters, but I like seeing him played.
Looks like this seems to be like a bit of a Uno reverse situation. Both of them picking off champions. That was very annoying to each other this game, and they're saying, "Well, okay, if you can do it, I can do it better." Sort of situation. Having the Poppy here to create spacing, having Talia to have a little bit of extra spacing as well, having her work with ground create situations which can make it very uncomfortable. Samira, Maokai, or Zin to get the in as engaged on their team. It looks like it's going to be a Rumble support yet again.
Or maybe I rumble top lane into a maybe Maokai support. I don't know. It's so much flexing around that I can't keep track. We'll see what 20 seconds to go. What the final pick is going to be. But I guess Full Send Happy were quite happy with the Rumble and didn't think that Rumble was a problem. And to be fair, I think yeah, the Rumble definitely didn't do too well, but it also wasn't a god awful pick that lost them the game.
There was like a couple of inopportune picks, which did end up losing them a lot of pressure and objective control. That is possibly the only issue. And it looks like Fiddlesticks here making an appearance. Team fighting mastermind himself in combination with Renata can create a whole lot of disruption potentially in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, this is going to be wow. See, I would have see for me this seems very fun, and a dream combo would be to see Fiddlesticks with Nocturne, having the lights out and then a murder of crows just getting on you and committing their namesake to you. But still, it's very nice. It's a very nice pick. It's a very interesting pick. Uh, it's a little bit aggressive from Fanboy, but we saw his Zinzao play last game. He was fairly aggressive on the pick, trying to go for plays. And especially in the later stages of the game, those plays were very beneficial and successful for him. So maybe he has some secret plans with the Fiddlesticks that we don't know about, prepared for this game.
That could indeed be the case. It does look like what you were saying is correct. Rumble possibly going to be the going top. CJ is going to be jungle, of course. YVL Seraphine on mid. Doesn't need a whole lot of a whole lot of food to sustain herself. Just a little bit of wave clear, a little bit of push. Rally's rush can help secure a lot of these fights in their advantage. Then we have to have Samira that can help get on the backline if they need to. And then we have also Makai with the Twisted Advance, which also can help them get a lot of this pressure going. Then we have on the top lane Poppy, Fiddle, on jungle, Talia, mid lane, and we have Ash and Renata. Oof, I can't really pick whose team comp I like right now at the moment. Who's your favorites? Would you say?
Well, looking at this, I'm very interested in seeing what Fools and Happy are going to do with this team comp, especially since uh Maokai, the Samira Maokai bot lane, it's it's very similar to what Samira Rel wants to do, which is basically engage on someone, allow Samira to get to to her full stacks, and then just try to ult someone away. The only problem you have with that is that Renata Glask, along with Ash, have a total of three interrupts on Samira's ultimate, which could prove to be very detrimental to Samira as this game progresses. But still, it would be a very it's going to be a very interesting bot lane, especially with Samira being picked here. The mid lane it's looking like two very long range mages just vying for control over the wave. So I don't expect to see too much action going on, though. Still, we might see some crazy shenanigans happening.
Couldn't say better myself actually. I'm gonna hedge to see how the opening game is gonna look like. If I am, I kind of really like the invade. I really like to invade here, to be honest.
Hmm.
I really like a level one fight here with our team. I feel like our team is strong on level one. We're gonna be utilizing a lot of the AoE pressure that Seraphine. We have some early damage from Sumera if need be. We up and down also have pick potential from Maokai. I kind of like a chance of seeing if we can go for it here, but that's just me being greedy, I think.
I mean, sometimes you like going for the greedy plays. You're hoping for you're hoping for some things, and who knows, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But uh, how, that's probably the risk of. I was trying to go for a you miss 100% of the shots you don't take
Yeah, exactly.
analogy.
Yeah, I
So
do like the anecdote. Thank you. But it does look like they might just go for a classic 5 point, or
mhm,
maybe
mhm.
cheeky something. No, just a 5 point. Oh well.
I think
Okay.
I think they just pinged out as to where they might be getting where Claytrons might be getting invaded from. So
Yeah.
they were just like, okay, let's be wary of this and this brush and try to secure our control there.
Mars here. Mid lane. Just looking. Oh,
Oh my god, it's a repeat of last game. We're seeing a few love taps and
the Mana Flow Bland trades here right now, getting an
yeah,
early start. I like it. I like
yeah,
it.
yep, and also another airy proc for a champion going into the Talia. So this early game starting off basically the same as last time. Interesting to see why so Ernest going for the flamethrower. Usually, as the Rumble, you go for for the rockets in the
Oh, you mean
and at level one.
the electrocuted harpoons? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's the is the fact that the percentage health damage that Poppy does a whole lot earlier allows them
Yeah.
to get very good trades, and getting the flamethrower going is possibly just better for them, even if it does give them a bit of manic pen. You're not gonna be able to hit Poppy through the wave that easy. So it looks like we do have a twist advance here. A flash. Miss a cucumber.
Oh,
It's hard to re-engage on this. Mars Argo is also looking for an angle here too as well. Both flashes, big use from both supports here. Thing ignite. No
yeah.
cleanse traded.
Yeah, no cleanses, nothing used on the side of the bot laners, just the supports using up some, well, 3 out of 4 summoner spells from the supports are used. Uh this Renata saving the exhaust is definitely going to prove beneficial in further trades if something were to happen. But it was a better trade, even health wise, for the side of uh, of the Claytrons, and we're seeing Joke try to go for an early gank, try to make something happen here in the bot lane, but nothing is going to come of it, and it's just going to be back to farming for the Claytrons.
Yeah, and looking at top side for a quick second, we did see a small little skirmish happening up there. Weiser Ernst using their ignite here to try force them out, not needing to flash. Mars Argo didn't. So now they're just trying to push this wave in, get a quick reset, quick cheeky reset. I don't necessarily favor this tempo that well, but we have a kind of wave coming in, so it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's a cannon wave coming in. I think it's a double stacked wave maybe on the top lane, and you're going to see it getting farmed out. But
Do we see a
oh, that's
gank
a
angle
fiddlesticks
here?
timing.
Oh, it looks like here trying to secure the kill for Shenzhen. No flash to get out, no ignite to help out.
Uh,
Sweet release.
they thought they were going to go for the gank with Xin Zhao being here, but Fanboy again reading the early game plays trying to happen from Sejoke and from this full send happy bot lane, and well, just being there for a nice gank, following up on the engage from Mrs. Kukombe, and it's a very it's a much better start to the early game for this Claytron squad, and we saw how well they could come back from a 3,000 gold deficit in the early game, and from basically having every neutral objective taken from them. I would like to see how well they'll do with a lead in this early game.
Fortunately, some Veta have not been able to capitalize anything on that twisted advance from Mrs. Kakombe there. Completely poked out. And we do have Kuksana trying to come in here. Did not happen. The
Hmm. The Weaver's
the
Wall was used, but
it was
it
blocked out by
amounted
the Blade Whirl, which was unfortunate.
yeah, it amounted to basically nothing. So yeah, a failed gank from Saxana, but it doesn't dissuade, I think, the Claytron's bot lane, because it's still a lot of pressure, it's still a lot of damage onto some Vente. It's sad that it's not a kill, but you still at least got something out of it. But Full Send Happy definitely getting the the better end of the trade by securing those 3 grubs for the squad. However, we saw last game that despite them getting 6 grubs, they weren't utilized to the fullest and just grabbing all those early turret plates and turrets. So maybe maybe we're going to see them better utilized in this game, but I want to see the full send happy squad just going for a lot more plays and try to get this bot lane head because Fed Samira can definitely do a lot of damage to this squishy squad of Claytrons.
Let's see how this angle turns out for them. Looks like it's just going to be a bit of a farming state right now. Bit of a slow push built up by Shenzhen, not really wanting to push out too far, not knowing where their jungler is. They know where Femboy is. He's top side. No neutral objectives to secure. YVL's back has been stopped by Kasana. Getting their poke on a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this poke from Suxana is going to amount to anything uh because YVL is just farming it up very nicely on this Seraphine. Already has like a 18 CS lead. Uh, base a very nice gold lead so far. Is going to actually stop the back YVL to maybe try and get the next wave pushed in because Saxana can push in that wave very early and just get a few plays going. So I think YVL just wants to deny as much as possible.
Oh,
But
and we have
oh,
ult here from Fanboy securing the first blood. Using Crowstar here to clean up that kill. Kasana and YVL here tried to go for a little poke in trade, but unfortunately did not see the angle where they could have gotten ganked by.
um, I don't know why YVL was pushed up that far into the lane. Actually, I think they could have just stayed under turret. But oh, that's another engage happening.
So we do have a bit of a bot lane fight here. Silence has been used on Samira. No cleanse is being afforded to them. They already had wasted already on the crystal arrow. And that is another kill picked up for Shenzhen.
That's a kill for that's a kill for this Claytron squad. The Femboy with two successful ganks, both in the mid lane and the bot lane, and this Ash and Renata are just getting uh, more and more fed, and this Fiddlesticks could be a very very big problem for this squad because you have the power of the Samira once she gets to that S rank and uses her ultimate. But if you can't properly utilize your ultimate, if you get burst down by this Ash, by this Fiddlesticks, like even before you get to that S rank, you're basically not utilized. You're basically unable to utilize your kit properly. So this is slowly but surely starting to become a big problem for this full send bot lane.
Oh, looks like we might be actually looking for a gank angle here on the top side. Oh, the equalizer has been used. Terrify. See joke. This is Kokobe is looking for the angle here. Kutsana. Oh, ended up using Unravel Earth and Seismic Shove to push them back in. And Mrs.
Oh
Kokobe
my
is
god.
just gonna be trying to waddle away, but unfortunate. And that might end up being 6 grubs. No,
Yeah,
actually, I was incorrect. This actually just might be a 3-3, a 3-for-3. If I
yeah,
remember
the
correctly,
six.
Femboy took Drake, right?
Yeah. So the grubs are getting denied from uh from this full send happy squad. Oh wow, Marsargo living there with with like less than 200 HP twice, getting denied the solo bolo with that Renata Glask bailout and with another successful gang from Femboy, and then just catching out C Joke and forcing YVL to go back as well. It's just so good from this Claytron squad. The teamwork and the coordination is just on a higher level than the full Sin Happy squad.
It looks like they ended up giving up that drink, so they're trading one for one here. I think the grubs was the highest priority for them to secure anyway, so I think they're fine with this trade.
Yeah, I definitely think just denying a six grub take was better for them because six grubs could be fairly annoying if you're the Claytron squad because it you do have Samira, you do have Rumble, you have some. Ooh, that's a
Oh
very nice
my
engage.
gosh! Then we have Crowstorm going to the crystal area here, securing another kill on Mrs. Krakambe.
Well, the Samira has cleanse, but the Maokai doesn't. So, a fear into a Fiddlesticks ultimate into an Ash ultimate means that this squishy Maokai is going to be dead, and Femboy is just playing wonders with that turret aggro, poking out some vet here, and this Ash is having a very easy time in this bot lane, and is doing very well.
Yes, C-Joke has yet to found an angle yet so far to this game right now.
Yeah, Sijo has not had as big of an impact as Femboy had on the Zinzao, and we still haven't seen a proper team fight where Samvete could probably utilize the Samira. It's mostly been skirmishes and individual fights happening around, which uh, have all gone into Claytron's favor, netting them this 6-0 kill lead, and basically the whole gold lead of almost 2k being there. And we see, ooh, Femboy, another gank.
Oh, Seismitas going for the Crowstorm. Flashes happen. Going into Encore, a shutdown on Femboy. Looks like a ball lane Crystal Arrow from Shenzhen also launched out.
Yeah, this is the first mistake from Femboy in the ganks. There was a pink port in that brush, so you saw him. Ooh, that's another engage.
Oh, this could be a kill here for Shenzhen. They don't have flash, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're not the classic ultimate being used. Is basically dissuading any engage that might be happening from this squad of Fools and Happy, and we see it again. They're they are poked out. They don't have the proper tools to deal with this bot lane in the 2v2 because of those few gangs that happened from this fiddlesticks, and the the poke is just a little bit too much. This turret is slowly but surely going down, and I think it's going to be finished in the next few waves.
But it does look like YVL is looking for an angle to gank it here. Kusada is also looking for an angle here too.
I think yeah, they're basically sending a squad of 4 people to help out and maybe try to oh that's going to be the back interrupted, and Voice Earnest I think is going to after using the flash is going to get out. But yeah, this squad for Fools and Happy have to send like basically 4 people just to deal with Shenzhen uh and this Renata. Oh, that's a great stop, but it still might not be enough. It doesn't matter how good Samveta played that because this Ash is already on boots and a completed item, and now C Joke is going to go for the gank. This Renata Glass is out of mana, and finally we're going to see a successful gank and some impact on the map from the Xin Zhao.
Right, T-Joke securing one of their first set of kills of the game. Looks like they're going to try to transition this into Dragon, but seeing as Shenzhen and Otari, the Renata is currently down right now, they're probably just going to be able to pick this up.
Yeah, look, it's looking like the Full Send Happy Squad have slowly found their way back into this game. You know, punishing a few mistakes from this Claytrons squad, who have certainly gotten a little bit content in in these last 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe overestimating their capabilities a little bit, and was that a failed summon on the Rift Herald?
That does look like a herald that was secured by Femboy, sadly enough, has not been able to see that turret be taken down.
I I mean, the Rift Herald had 1800 HP on it, so I think Fanboy maybe tried to use it to knock down the turret, but maybe misclicked on the targeting because it goes with your mouse cursor, so it gets a little bit wobbly. I know as a jungle main I've messed it up more than a few times, and well, anyone can basically mess it up if not clicked properly. So yeah, but focusing a little bit more on the team fight, on the fight here happening, why so earnest is still bullying out Marsargo with this Leandris, and ooh, with the ignite going down, maybe he could have looked for a kill, but Marsargo propping that passive, that poppy shield, and just defending it very nicely, but Darren, Darren.
Oof, Mars Argo going down to that gang from Joke. Look like he's coming back into this game with a vengeance right now.
Yeah, Sejo basically said, "Okay, you had your first 10 minutes of the game to have fun. Now it's my turn."
But Shenzhen and their squad is not looking to give this up anytime soon. Gonna secure the mid lane turret. Possibly rotate back bot side.
Yeah, this the Claytron squad is definitely making some decent macro decisions. Try to look for how they can counteract the ganks and the push coming in from the full send happy squad. So you know the trade off for gang top lane, mid lane turret. Now you have also the Talia pushing out bot lane. We see YBL uh basic rotating down towards this bot lane to catch weight, making sure that this bot lane turret doesn't go down uh and uh create more pressure on the map for for the squad. But those two turrets are very low HP, both the top lane and the bot lane turret. So it's just a matter of time before the Claytrons take them down and allow their squad to have more opportunities to create some more vision control and uh, these vision bubbles on the map. But YVL just this Seraphine just with one damaging item in the Seraph's embrace is just clearing out these waves very effectively.
Mars Argo being poked out a little bit right now. Oh, Kustada is looking for a play and forcing the hostile takeover to be used right now.
Uh, that's a lot thrown in with not a lot of things won. Like YVL didn't even have to use a summoner spell there. All he did was just that dodge the Talia W, get out of a few skill shots, and well, the hostile takeover did virtually nothing, especially since Seraphine just has that extra heal and shield power from the Moonstar Renewer, and the empowered W just granting her a lot of healing.
It looks like we're gonna be securing red buff. I can't wait to see how these team fights happen. Dragon is coming up soon, hopefully within about a minute or so. Securing vision. Looking for
Yeah,
an angle. Mars Algo does happen to have TP for this play if DB. Femboy does need to come in from a blind spot here if he wants to make something happen, but looking for it. He's going to be walking around from Drake's side. Doesn't seem to be any vision behind there.
yeah, it's a very nice flank angle coming in, but I think they pinged him out, and yeah, the vision plant sees him now. They basically know where this fiddlesticks is going to be, but the problem is that this poppy can create such disarray by ulting someone away from the fight, and
Oh, looks like we did happen to use a blast plant over the wall here. Femboy creating a whole bunch of space here with Crow Storm. The Samiras, Famvete is popping off. Unfortunately, been completely neutralized right now. Shenzhen is trying to keep Joke off of them, but with the power of Crescent Guard not being able to keep them away. Looks like they're going to be able to secure this Drake right now.
yeah, the Fulson and Happy squad having a very decent engage after Femboy basically flashed over and used Crowstorm as we see a pause happening, which always is unfortunate to see. We do have information that is Mrs. Combe DCing, so we can talk a little bit more about that team fight. Okay,
Looks like we
they're
won't.
back. I'll still talk about it. They can't
Uh-huh.
stop me. Yeah, it looked initially like Claytrons were going to have a very decent engage, a very nice Fiddlesticks ultimate into a nice catch. However, the hostile takeover didn't do too much for people. There wasn't a lot of power to be gained, and Samvete was almost untouched in that team fight. So, they managed to open up on the squishy squad, and then you had YVL and C Joke just finishing the task of killing everyone, despite Samvete going down and not grabbing the kill.
Looks like they were trying to find an angle here on Ernest. Looks like they couldn't secure anything.
Little bit of a Crownies comment happening there. Shout out to everyone who got that reference. Uh, yeah, but yeah, Cheryl was just looking for an opportunity. You know, you catch out the Rumble, who is not the tankiest member of the squad, and maybe you can uh convert it into some bearing pressure, maybe like some pressure on the map. You know, grab some vision control, grab an objective, just anything, and it's an opportunistic take. And you know, as the team with the Ash, you're kind of always looking for that angle. You're always looking for that pick potential, and I think as this Claytron squad, you have a lot of pick potential, a lot of single target damage. So I think you should be looking for that. It's how they got the lead in the early game, and if you try to go for these team fights, you have a lot of team fight prowess with the Zinza, with the Seraphine, with the Samira. So it's going to be much more difficult to play out the team fights, and if you're Claytron, so I want to see Claytrons just try to look for a few more picks and not go for straight up brute force team fighting, because a lot of the times they're not going to be well equipped unless there's a massive poppy ultimate that splits off the fight.
Looks like Boys Red has been picked off here right now. But if Mars Argo and Kixana might try to find an angle for topside. Versus Kokombe. Using their nature's grass to try to secure Mars Argo here. Alright, Savete just finishing off Mars Argo on this kill here. I I try to figure out like what angle do we try to go for here right now. Oh, and it does look like an encore popped out. Is Crowstorm going to be coming out? Crowstorm is out already. Kuksana is picked off from the side. Samvete is already using Inferno Trigger to kind of clean up some of these kills. Are going to be looking for a dive angle, but Kokoma is looking for it. Twisted Advance, possibility in reach here. YVL. They're not going to try to overstay themselves. They're just going to clear this wave up potentially and reset. Or they're going to look to try transition this into a push mid wave. I do like this play a whole lot. With the Drake Soul coming up relatively soon for them, they don't want to risk it for the biscuit right now.
Yeah, they're going to take two turns. They're going to increase this lead. You know, they were at a 2,000 gold deficit, and now they're at a 3.5k gold lead just from a few one team fights. And I talked about the big potential of the Claytrons, but you have to remember a team with a Maokai can still pick off someone, especially if you have someone like Marsargo just going so far up out front without any real protection from the rest of the squad, allowing the squad of Full Send Happy to just fully engage on him and get the pick. And well, Samvet is managing to manage to pick up Marsargo because Marsargo just bought the chain vest. They didn't have any armor in their items, so it was just easy pickings for this Samira. And then it was just a 5v4 team fight happening that managed to net them such a great lead, and they're going to go for this Drake Soul.
It does look like they was able to secure it, but they probably might be able to pick up a Seraphine for their troubles. Mars Argo zoning all the rest of the team with just their physical presence, and they're just gonna take it to Drake and leave.
A Seraphine for Drake Soul. I think you're going to take that 9 out of 10 times if you're full sim happy. However, YVL being down and also having used ultimate is going to be a little bit detrimental. Ooh, oh,
Oh,
Wise Awareness might be getting caught out here, but the Rumble does have a lot of shielding power, and the extra move speed from the W is going to help you out.
oh, and we
Oh, but
have a
that's a great
huge
flank.
flank here. Subvete cleaning up these kills with Inferno Trigger. This possibly might transition into a Baron play.
It looked so good for the side of Claytrons, and then Mrs. Comba with the amazing Maokai flank in with the with the ultimate, just grabbing out three people, Samvetic cashing in on that S rank and just using that Inferno trigger to clean up that squad. And you see Mrs. Kuhumba and this Makai having a much better game than on the Rumble, being extremely disruptive in these team fights, providing a lot of space and pressure for his team, and just being at the right place in the right time, doing so much for the rest of his team and allowing the rest of his team to be extremely effective.
Yeah, it begs the question: the femboy who had a stellar start at the beginning of the game, not being able to like make anything happen right now. What could possibly be a way for them to get back into it? You think?
Just a massive fiddlesticks flank, like a 5-man ultimate that could happen, or maybe you have something like a Poppy ultimate, just not knocking away this Amira, who is still most of the damage for this full send happy squad. Knock away this Amira, or maybe this Zinzao, and just create uh an unequal team fight on the map, a 4v5, or maybe even a 3v5, and just manage to get some picks like that. But Mars Argo is trading very effectively into YVL after with those two armor items and the Mercury treads, and I like that actually from Claytrons deciding to put Mars Argo there. But oh, Femboy is getting caught out.
Yeah, looks like this might be curtains for him. He's going to be using Crowstorm to try and get out, but it just might not be enough. And Joke taking out Femboy. Looks like he's going to be taking down the Renata as well. It's just going to be Shenzin and Koksa trying to find a way to try to stave off all this pressure. And it looks like they're just going to be going for this siege right now.
They have the Baron, they have the inhibitor. They maybe even try to go for the end because you don't have the ultimate as the Poppy. That was an ultimate of all time,
That
but
was
it
one of them.
doesn't.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's a 5v3. Samveta just manages to use the Inferno trigger, just cleaning up the squad. And once you get a few picks in, it was very easy for this full send happy squad to get going once the kills started rolling in. And it was really that the game, and they managed to claw back that lead. They got a few team fights, and congratulations to Full Send Happy for a much better game too.
That's right, but let's see how this turns up into a game number 3.
3 of Claytrons versus Full Send Happy Academy in the Valence League Division 1 week 1 of the spring split. My name is Deadly Ghost, and I'm here with Jotaro Kujo. If you're just joining us, we had two very fun games, uh, two blue side wins as well, and Claytrons opting for blue side for game 3.
That might be the case here. We will see whether or not it'll be the deciding factor. Red side has been some of the largest disadvantages that we've seen all series so far, being able to fly from all the way across the map and now being able to see whether or not that's going to make a difference in this game number 3.
I mean, it certainly is a factor with the map changes and with a few of the other changes happening. Uh, with a few walls being gone, a few brushes being more accessible. So one would say the blue side is a little bit better. However, it's not necessarily the case because uh, a lot of the times blue side just initially starts getting a few wins and then red side just balances it out. So it's not so it's a lit you know it can sometimes be a valid argument, but also sometimes it's just people need a little bit of time to adjust to the new changes and the new patch.
Especially them trying to secure the first couple of legs of the game right now at the moment. I wonder, what approach do you think, seeing as how the Clayton squad and a full happy, um, they've kind of been swapping around a couple of their champion picks. Some has been working a little bit more better than others. Some Vete with their Samira being able to clean up a lot of stray kills here and there during most of the mid game. Shenzhen not being able to make their stunning display they had done in game number 1 with that Zeri. But how do you feel now going into game number 3? What do you think the angle is going to need to be? Who do we focus on? What resource? Who gets the best resources right now?
Hmm, that's a very good question. So, looking at this, well, I think we need. Yeah, I think we need a few. Uh, well, just to let you guys know, we're a few minutes away from starting game 3. Players are just loading in and making sure everything is ready. But yeah, to touch back on what you said, I think I think definitely Shenzhen is going to be looking for that Zeri to basically have a bigger impact. I think Samvet and Miss Kukumba had a much better time in the bot lane in game 2 with the Samira and the Maokai uh oh instead of the Rumble support, which basically did not have as big of an impact as we hoped or maybe thought it would. So I think the mental advantage is a little bit there for Fools and Happy just because they won game 2, so they have that little bit of a mental edge. However, uh both teams seem to be much more comfortable on this blue side, so maybe it's going to be a three-peat of blue side wins.
We'll see how this turns up, to say the least. Looks like we are currently waiting for our game to start in a second. But how do you feel right now about this current season 14? Like, what are some of the things that you've been looking forward to? You said you're a jungle man. What are some of the newer changes that you've been really, really happy with so far?
Well, I think grubs have definitely been a very nice addition to the game. They can be, if strategically used, they can be very, very, very good. And I think I liked the different barons that we get into the game, and the new Rift Herald definitely offers a lot of fun options, especially if you are a fan of Tokyo Drift. Also, another good thing that I would like to mention is after 20 minutes, not having the rest of my team fighting over who gets red or blue buff, just having a team wide buff, uh, is fun to me, and it also alleviates a lot of pressure of, oh, I want this buff, no, I want this buff, and now you're like, you all get the buff.
It looks
But
like
enough
Kian
of
has been banned out here yet again. Do not want to give uh, YVL any sort of chance on it. Vi being banned here as well. Varus looks like it'll be the same six bans. Ezreal, Varus, Kiana, Vi,
Lilia.
Vi Lilia, and we also had Xin Zhao coming out as a newer one from both ends. He seems to be a very problematic champion into a whole lot of poke and stuff that they want to be getting into this game going out so far. Nocturne also being taken out as well. Maokai, also a big problem maker as well, being able to control the whole entire pace of the game with their twisted advance and their nature's claims. It's very difficult for them to get any fights going with Maokai on board.
Yeah, so Makai, a lot of junglers actually getting banned from this, from both teams, but especially from the side of Fools and Happy, banning out three junglers. Well, Makai being a flex pick, but still three junglers getting banned out, and you have the first pick Wukong for the side of Claytrons. Now, I believe that this is something something that Femboy likes to play a lot.
Looks like
Let me.
Lilia is also coming through here too as well.
Ooh, ooh. So
Lilia also a very annoying champion in her own right, being able to put multiple champions, multiple targets to sleep, percentage health damage on her passive, and also just oodles of damage here. Uh, let's see. It takes a bit for her to ramp into her items. She does need a little bit of secured kills in the early game, but we'll see how this turns out.
yeah, this is definitely going to be very interesting to see how everything uh well will develop so far. Oh, oh, that's.
Oh, Briar here.
Will we see it locked? No,
Oh, does look like
no.
a hyper carry. The carry has been chosen in Jinx. Does need a little bit of ramping to get going, but after her first two, three items, she does become a
Yeah,
menace.
yeah. Even at two items, Jinx is still very dangerous to play into. I wanted to point out that surprisingly there is no Milio ban, so maybe we can see some Jinx Milio, but instead we're going to see the god of creation himself in Diorn.
Okay, looks like they're going to be trying to play the scaling here. I mean, Kaisa and Lilia do scale as well themselves, but the over the top ender here is going to be this Ornn. So what we're going to do to deal with this Ornn, Camille here is not a bad pick because you can single target down on the Jinx, on Wukong, or an Ornn. Does a whole bunch of percentage health damage and true damage. To a lot of these champions is, of course, also having a heal as well. Does give her a decent amount of
Hmm.
sustain in the lane.
Yeah, Camille is basically a standard pick into on. You have a very easy time. You have the true damage on your Q, which basically lets you ignore a lot of the resistances that Ornn is going to build, even in the early stages of the game. And we didn't talk about it, but Jinx Jinx being basically higher range than Kaisa, it's just going to be is going to be a nuisance for this for this Kaisa lane, because as the Kaisa you want to go in a little bit more. You want to basically get in people's faces and try to proc your passive. So uh Shenzhen is going to have the advantage there with the fish bones to just farm from afar, get to those 1-2 items, and maybe try to go for something else. But like we've seen so far, these bot lanes love to brawl, and Kaisa Karma does look like a bot lane that is going to be scary.
Oh, it's gonna be possibly Lulu Jinx and Lulu Jana. I'm not the biggest fan of Jana. I know it does disrupt a lot of what Camille wants to do with their engages, etc. But I prefer Lulu a whole lot here. More being able to polymorph the Camille when to engage, possibly secure a one shot or an insta kill. Probably use a little bit of CC on her, getting her out of the fight, turning it into a 4v5, and possibly pivoting the game into their ways. And also the Bigify ultimate being able to use on the Jinx, allowing her to secure a little bit of extra HP and survive a little bit of the burst that the Camille could probably secure on her. I really like this pick.
It's just it's personal preference, I think, a little bit here. Lulu offers a little bit more support in the early game. Giving you that shield, giving you that attack speed and movement speed boost with the W. But is that
Oh dear, and the menace himself of season 14, Bard, with some of the highest base damage in the game, using his mysterious journey to help secure objectives. The ways and range and movement that he has on the map is astounding currently right now in this current new season.
sorry?
Well, Deadly, you don't like Bard? Are you having post traumatic
No,
stress right now?
no. See, I was trying to mimic the sound that Bard makes when you lock him in, but looking at it, how do I say this? I haven't had too great of an experience when Bard is on my team. When he's on the enemy team, well, it's basically Carrier.
Yeah, it's like 17. It's 17 and 2, just like 17 kills, 2 deaths, and he still like has a rapid
It
fire and that's bad played and like a bunch of
it's
extra items. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's the ally team Yasuo versus the enemy team Yasuo theory, except it's Bard.
Exactly. I really, really like a lot of what the Mars Argo team is going to be going for this game. They're going to try to scale. They do have a little bit of early 2v2, 3v3s going on the top side of the lane. Lulu can probably roam. Bard definitely roams here. Wherever they feel like pleasing. They also have access to the meeps, which gives extra movement speed. And depending if they also happen to get like a Kindle Drake, also giving extra movement speed for how many of the Kindles that you pick up as well, can give an insane amount of move speed and just complete repositioning all over the map for this Bard.
Yeah, you can get some very early gangs going in for this Bard. Also going wherever he pleases. I didn't know Bard was also cosplaying as Doctor Mundo here.
Yeah, I mean, season
But
14, he's cosplaying as your AD carry, as your jungler, as your mid laner, as your top laner. Trust me, whoever you need him to be, he is what he is.
see, I thought that was originally Orn's job.
True, true. But
But yeah,
Ord has a multi-class as an assassin, though. That's the difference.
I mean, well, Ornn is technically the Mage, Death Knight, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Warrior, Enchanter, Tank, Bruiser, Wizard, Warlock, Priest, Assassin, Gunslinger, Druid, Shaman, Necromancer, Ninja, Bard, Monk, Robot, Conjurer, Blacksmith, Warden, God, Illusionist, Templar, Wizard. So when you sum it all up, you have a lot of classes on their own, and I think we've seen enough games where a Norn is winning lane or uh, winning the game for his team when he definitely shouldn't be as tanky and dealing as much damage as he would be doing. But yeah, like you said, on a slightly more serious note, you do have Claytrons with Diorn, so they want to scale up. They want to get to the late game. They want to get those ornaments coming in with the extra bit of stats, with the extra power, and it's a late game Jinx. With the buffs that came in for Jinx in this early game, you would definitely want to get Jinx to those two, three, four items, and just have her deal as much damage as possible.
That is definitely the case, but let's not keep you guys waiting. We're going to be going into the final game. Clayton's Academy versus.
Full send happy academy. If I'm not mistaken, that is the full name.
Okay, there we go. You got it. You helped me out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, of course, that's why we're co-casters.
There we go. Let's see. How do we feel about the level ones here? We have YVL here on Karma. I do like level one on Karma. It is really strong. You can start with almost anything and not to be too far behind. But it does look like to be a traditional 5 point here.
Yeah, it is looking like that. I think if you're Claytrons, you really don't want to do any level one shenanigans because Mantra Q, if it hits your squad when you're grouped up, is just going to be a living nightmare for your squad. So I think they're smart to do just the classic 5 point. It's also game three, so I think people are going to be a little bit more reserved, especially in the early game pathing, the early game farming, things like that.
Karma currently having access to Malignance here, being able to clear out waves, deal a bunch of damage. I wonder if that's the idea they're going to be going for. There's also alternative build that some Karmas tend to take with a little bit more tankiness, but stuff like Rod of Ages, etc. with Leandries, but I'm not sure. Oh, looks like we are going to be going for a small angle here. YVL just going to be coming up, claiming the mana flow stacks, getting a bit of poke in.
Getting some mana flow stacking, getting some poken. Marsargo is definitely going to hate that, and Wise Hornist can basically do this uh to this Ornn because if you're a Norn into a Camille matchup, you are very sad, at least in the early stages of the game, until you get to that level 6 mark, and at least until you get to a few items, because yeah, even at level 1, this true damage from Camille is dealing quite a lot.
Alright, looks like they trying to figure out what they're gonna be leveling. It's gonna be taking the tactical sweep, get a little bit of sustain, a little bit of healing back into it. Also gets a bit of extra poke.
Yeah, it's just a lot of extra pressure getting applied because Ornn can basically uh, dodge your hook shot, or at least deny the stun from the hook shot with his own W. So just having that accessible is going to be very nice. And in this mid lane, we're seeing a few traits happening around. YBL taking a little bit of a worse trade, however, if you go for Mantra W, that's going to be much better. And well, Mrs. Combat taking a very bad trade in the bot lane on this bard. Definitely disrespecting the power of Jinx Lulu, because Lulu is still fairly powerful in the early game, and especially with the help picks, you can have a lot of damage. Uh, but yeah, this top lane is going to be very brutal for Marsargo in the early levels.
It's like Marzarka is doing something that I really love in a disadvantage lane like this. We're just gonna be freezing it. Going for a recall here. It's gonna be pushing into them anyway. Cannon Wave is also on the way as well. Alright. Looks like C Joke trying to go for a gank on the bot side here. Having to use a flash on Senzen. to get out of this predicament. Flash Ghost used, both subs gone. The wave is pushed up into Sam right now.
Oh, and another DC is happening. Well, it just says DC for the side of uh for the side of Claytrons. There we go. Shenzhen being DC'd, but we hope to resolve everything as soon as possible and be back into the game. But yeah, talking a little bit about it. Shenzhen had to use two summoner spells to get out of that gank, and Mrs. Combat not having sums is going to be a little bit less important than your main carry in the Ash being without summoner spells, because as Joke here, you have a prime target to gank for the next few minutes until that Ghost and Flash come up.
That's definitely going to be the case here. But looking at the map a little bit at the moment, it does look like Sea Joke is transitioning themselves up into the grubs that's going to be spawning relatively soon. I think it's still up to be taken. Right now, Femboy is currently on the bot side of the map. Possibly is going to be looking for a play, maybe bot side, transition that maybe into a gank. They do not happen to have that scuttle. He's just going to be double scuttled right now, it seems like. And they're just going to be trying to make something out of this. YVL does seem to have a little bit of prio, so does Weister Ernst. This might seem like a very good spot for them to secure grubs right now.
Yeah, this pause is taking a little bit more than I expected it to be. So hoping everything is okay with Shenzhen and their internet connection. Uh,
It looks like we're
and
ready
there
in
we go.
rock.
There there we go. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks like Shenzhen is back. So that definitely going to be happy about that, and we can resume the game uh, as intended. But yeah, that gank has already proven to be beneficial for this Full Send Happy squad, because Shenzhen lost out on a big wave here, and some vet definitely getting some advantages for for himself, having a 10 CS lead as the Sky Sub. But oh, Femboy just make utilizing that Mrs. Combat doesn't have any summoner spells, might have gone a little bit too deep in here.
Yeah, looks like Femboy having to use their flash to get out of this play right now. YVL using their mantra, Inner Flame,
Ooh,
to clear that wave. Let's see, C Joke has gotten a bit of a reset, but it does look like Femboy is going to be securing some chickens here. I would think that C Joke might have actually just gone to do grubs almost instantly, since he did have prior a little bit earlier, but it looks like he's just going to go for a bit of a clear here, secure a little bit of vision, and then transition that into a different play.
yeah, the Sejo has managed to go back. It does already have a CS lead, like you said. Maybe it's going to be looking towards this top lane, but I would very much love to see a level 6 happening first. But ooh,
Oh my god, Syrian charge being cancelled here right now. Oh my god. And I'm missing having to use his ultimate, having to use the Hextech ultimatum, unfortunately. But he does get this kill. And it does look like Femboy might be looking a bot lane yet again. Mrs. Mercombe being a little bit ambitious here. Femboy
Oh,
securing the kill on Mrs. Makambe, unfortunately. But Sea Joke is using this time to clear this whole entire grub camp.
yeah. So the Grubs are going to be going for this Fools and Happy squad. This has not actually gone back because the wave wasn't.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh! And a kill secured by the Void Seeker, claiming the life of Shenzhen.
the Voice Seeker definitely finding his target. I think Shenzhen thought he was safe uh,
Like a full
with
stack name from him, I guess.
yeah. But however, the melee's moved in a little bit, allowing the path to be open, and well. A little bit unfortunate for Shenzhen, a little bit fortunate for Samvete, who is definitely reaping the rewards of the Jings get being ganked early on, and yeah, it's a much better early game for Samvete than last game. It's a little bit more reminiscent, actually, of game one where they got when he got that huge lead.
That seems to be the case. YVL does seem to be a little bit more relaxed on playing a control mage, just
Mm.
like Karma here. Let's see. Joke here trying to secure this dragon is almost going to be clearing it. There's three of them here. Femboy is looking for an angle to engage on them. Oh dear. Femboy is looking to engage on them on YVL, but looks like his flash going to come out. Chomper's been tossed down. Mars Argo currently just kind of reclining under their turret, being farmed out, being pressured. Gonna end up
Yeah,
losing
see,
a plating here.
yeah, I think Fanboy should have just maybe tried to go for one more camp and try to get level 6, and then maybe try to engage the fight, because a lot of your power as the Wukong is going to be in that cyclone, that extra bit of damage, and the AoE knock up that you have is going to be so powerful. But oh,
Oh dear gosh, looks like we're gonna have a combo happen here. Hextech Ultimatum not gonna be used. Gonna be using a flash and repel out.
yeah, the flash, the hook shot, also going to be used from Wise Awareness, spotting out Fanboy on that board. But Mars Hargo definitely had a very decent trade. It's going to be a trade of Ultimate Flash and YVL actually getting charmed and getting knocked up, and it might just be a kill for Suksana, and a few picks going the way of this Claytron squad. That could spell disaster for this full send happy squad, because while their bot lane is ahead, the mid lane jungle duo of Saxana and Femboy is definitely keeping up, if not being ahead of this full send happy squad.
That does seem to be the case. Sijo here looking to do a full clear. Possibly. Or set up a little bit of vision. Because grubs are gonna be up again really soon. Use the scry plan to secure a little bit of vision topside. Looks like it's just gonna be four of them. Missing a combat, reading the vision of the ward already. Looks like it's gonna be an engage from YVL. It's gonna be using tether here. Gonna be zoning out Femboy from this fight while they try to secure grubs. Searing charge here from Marzargo. Marzargo. Oh, Inner Flame looks like it's gonna be a Super Mega Death Rocket. It's already been launched out. See, Joke is trying to land a lilting lullaby, but unfortunately landed only on two or three of them. Not enough to kill all. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough items yet to claim them. It's gonna probably just be four grubs. Or are they looking to secure something here? Mars Argo is probably looking for an angle. Femboy Flash ulting, hitting him with a cyclone. YVL looks like everybody is just coming in this mix right now. Semvete is moving up from the bot lane, trying to get this here. And take a look at his Bard, Mrs. Kakambe, putting a whole bunch of pressure in. And it looks like they're just going to be able to secure all six of these grubs.
Yeah, so initially it looked like it would have very much just been a Claytrons one fight, especially with the few picks they had. However, everyone being extremely low on this Claytron squad just allowed for some Veta to come in, ult in as the Kaisa, and just clean up all of the crew from the Claytron squad that was there. And it was just four people being low on HP. The Kaisa gets in a few kills. YVL with the Karma still has a lot of sustain, even though it's a mid lane Karma. It's not heal and shield power Karma with the supportive items. Karma is still very powerful, especially after the buffs to her AP ratios. She's just going to be a massive, massive nuisance to you and your squad if you're the Claytron squad, because look at this. She's already dealing a quarter of Marsargo's HP with just a few spells coming in, and this is very much the true power of Karma. She can bully you, she can farm out effectively, and then just even in the team fights, Karma is going to be extremely extremely effective.
Cloud Drake is currently is up right now. Some vision on the bot side. We have YVL right now on the top side. Does not have TP at the moment. Mr. Kakame using Mysterious Journey. Try to get a bit of a flank going. Some Vete on the wings, just looking at the play. See if anything is gonna happen. Nothing's happening right now. C Joke is probably just gonna go for a quick reset. Oh, but it looks like they're just gonna give up this Drake.
It's definitely looking like it, I think, because YVL was on the top lane, because a few of the other members
Looks like they're gonna be transitioning.
on this Habitant squad uh were not in place, so they just gave up the cloud drake for first tier 2. And if they get the rift herald, it's going to be mm, almost sorry, it's going to be much more beneficial to get a turret and rift herald in favor of one drake.
Oh dear. It looks like Lullaby has been used, taking out Femboy. Looks like Mars Argo also been taken out too as well. Kusada is trying to get away from Ernest. Looks like they're gonna be making it out. Ooh, and one of the biggest ways we have seen so far.
Yeah, it's a 4-for-0 fight. Uh, that's a very fed Lilia Sijo landing a 4-man ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. Then some Veta just ulting in as the guys are cleaning up the fight and just dealing quite a lot of damage. But wow,
Oh my god, almost bursting down Femboy here. Unfortunately. Kusada on the wings looking for an angle to get in. Does not have Spirit Rush up right now.
whoa, that was very dangerous from YVL. That was a very interesting back, let's say, in the middle of the lane when the minions can interrupt you. So yeah, it's a rift herald taken for the side of full send happy, and They definitely are growing their lead slowly but surely. It has now grown from 1,500 to 6,500 gold lead in just the span of a few minutes, with the few team fights won, with the better farming that is currently in effect, and with just securing the first turret, the first few turrets of the game. This this squad of Fulls and Happy is doing much better than their game one performance.
This is definitely to be seen right now. YVL is currently stuck on a side lane. I love to see this right now. It gives them a whole lot more coverage on the map. It allows to let them chase down the turrets, being able to poke out the Ari, forcing her to possibly use Spirit Rush, maybe secure a gank for C-Joke. This is all possible with the Karma being put into either a side lane or a solo lane by yourself.
Yeah, but however, Karma in a lane alone is a little bit, it's a little bit stressful. It's a little bit taxing. Uh, and when you have Ornn, Wukong, and Ari, you can definitely pick off this Karma. If you send a few members to catch her out. However, the problem is if you're sending multiple people to kill a Karma, well then the possibilities are open for the rest of the team to maybe go for Baron, threaten another neutral objective.
Exactly. Like forcing them to use a whole lot of resources while you're side laning and creating a whole lot of angles of pressure, especially while you have TP up, gives them so much different advantage. Camille can also secure it and do the same thing as well. Try to find picks for the team, help secure vision control, find picks on a potential Lulu, potential Jinx, who might be straggling on a side lane or something. We have Mrs. Kakambe right here by themselves. We have Mrs. Kakambe picked up by Ari Charm and secured a kill on. We do have Cyclone coming out. We have the lullaby from C Joke. Oh my god, Shenzhen Super Mega Death Rocket going wide right now. We have YVL not using her mantra at the moment.
Oh wow, YVL is definitely being a nuisance, and despite managing to catch one person on this squad, it's just way too much damage from the side of Wilson Happy, and yeah, well, it's certainly looking like YBL is poking everyone else out while the rest of this team is going to be securing the Drake. So I'm this early game gold lead of 6.5k, now at 7k, has definitely held up, and the squad is has taken away two Barons and two Dragons of us, and all you're thinking and all we are looking at right now is just, can this Jinx Claw her way back in? Can the ornaments be beneficial enough that this 6,500 gold deficit is going to be inappropriate for us?
I think it could possibly happen like one straggled kill, like how that ultimate just now on this T Joe kind of went wide. If they were able to secure that kill, that might have been able to give them a chance of securing a bit more vision on Baron, maybe get a pick out, maybe something like that. Especially since Bard, even though he is relatively tanky in a lot of his base stats and his item giving the extra utility and the stuff that he needs. Uh, just now he was picked off by the Ari, and if that happens again, that could possibly be a neutral objective they could be missing out on.
I
It's serious.
definitely have to agree with you there. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, no, no. You go ahead. Go ahead.
See, I was going to touch upon the pick potential, and just like you were talking about, but you basically covered most of it. Uh, I would like to see, uh, because two people have shutdowns on them. Huh. Well, taking taking stock a little bit. Everyone is farming fairly decently. Everything is going well. So far
Oh,
there. Oh wow, this Camille.
oh, and having to force to use Cyclone here. I really, really, really love this. It's gonna be trading an ulti for ulti. Cyclone is way bigger than Hextech right now. Ultimatum. Because Cyclone can end up pivoting the fight, allowing the army to just land a charm, bigify with wild growth. All right, so this is what we were talking about here. Side lane thing right now. If they use this opportunity here, this YVL is not going down anytime soon. Come on, C Joke. Get your head in the game. There's a Baron to farm.
There's a Baron to farm, and this Kaisa is very speedy at catching it out. And like I said, you're going to send three people down to kill this Karma. You're going to have the rest of the squad going in for this Baron. However, some Vete overstepping a little bit, getting overeager with their ultimate, and some Vete is going to see two other people or they so this Baron is going to be dissuaded from. This is going to be a
Yes.
much, a much more tame Baron take than we've seen the last two games. And sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a little bit. Uh,
No, no, no worries. It looks like they probably did as well because they were trying to secure it, but it seems they were a little bit hesitant. YVL forcing out a lot of extra resources on the bot side, but sadly enough, we're not able to secure any of it whatsoever.
no,
Searing charge.
mm, this bot is just being a nuisance right now. But ooh, fanboys coming in.
Oh my gosh, this is what we're talking about. Shen's in here looking at a play, looking at an angle right now. YVL coming in the wings. Weiser Ernest looking for a play. YVL using Mantra Shield at the moment.
Okay, that's a lot of damage on this Camille, and well, why so earnest basically just cleans out Diorn, cleans out the Jinx, and two of the two of the big champions on this Claytron squad are definitely taken down. You have you have a free map basically as this full send happy squad, and they're going to go for this infernal drake. They're going to secure the soul point. They're going to threaten baron next, and ooh,
I
because of
love
that
this.
missed jinx ultimate, you can definitely threaten baron if you're full send happy. You can definitely have them try to go for it. Fanboy is not even going to try to contest it because he knows that with two people down, with no Jinx Rocket, he can't do a lot. And he tried running back for it and tried to contest it, but in the end, he was a little bit too slow, and it didn't even matter that he was in a flank.
I think the fanboy might have tried to been looking for um maybe some Vete who might have been pacing there, possibly Mrs. Combe, try to get a pick at some point, but sadly enough, not able to find anything. Um, no vision was secured on the Baron, so they ended up losing on it. Right now, they're clearing all the vision on the top side, trying to get top side turret. YVL using that spacing as a control mage, using that focus resolve.
Okay, Sidro getting threatened a little bit by Fanboy, and well, there's an ultimate coming, and YVL is going to be taken down. Definitely, this full send happy squad overstaying their welcome a little bit. They just took Baron. They took a few other objectives. They have a lot. Oh, that's a nice engage.
All right, we do happen to have a little bit of a dissuasion of tactics here. We did see Mrs. Combe using their tempered fate to try to close off an avenue for Kuxana to get out, but unfortunately, getting hit with the Spirit Rush and using the Foxfire to finish them off, they were able to close off that kill on them. A lot of these players have been a little ambitious, to say the least, for Mrs. Combe.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the norm when you're playing Bard. You're kind of taking some risk. You're taking some you're you're trying to take some risk. You're trying to make some plays for your team. You want to provide your team with as big of an advantage as possible. But I think there they should have just backed off because they took Drake, they took Baron, they won a team fight. They had a lot of gold to spend, and I think if that team fight happens after you go back and reset and region back up and get a few extra items on the rest of your squad, you it's a much different fight as this full send happy squad, which now have uh, a little over a 10,000 gold lead with this Baron power play coming in.
That's definitely the case, and most of that gold is currently on Weiso, Ernst, and also their Sam Vete, currently sitting at 5-0 at the moment, securing their Rage Blade. We do have the ornament secured right now, getting on that Infinity Edge called Edge of Finality now, given the extra 80, 80 bonus, up by 40 AD.
That is going to be a very very good upgrade, and that's basically the thing that is going to be keeping keeping them into the game, because when these own item upgrades are starting to come through, you're going to be getting a lot, basically between 1,000 and 1,500 gold worth of stats going for you. So if you get to the later stages to when Orn reaches level 17, level 18, and the Jinx can actually get 1 to 2 more items, this squad is going to become much scarier because of the extra stats from the Orn items, and because of the hyper carry
Oh, looks
potential
like
of
we
the
do
Jinx.
have a potential
Wow!
pick here from C Joke. Look like Sam Vete is
Oh,
secured a kill on the Jinx with the assist of the Lilting Lullaby. Mars Argo using their stuff, using Tempered Fate here from Mrs. Combe to possibly secure a kill. Mars Argo using their Call of the Force to try to secure one, but not being able to. Oh, Cyclone being used by Femboy. Both flashes being used right now.
ooh.
And this is Dragon Soul.
Yeah, so if you thought that that this happy go lucky squad with sorry, that full send happy squad would be dangerous with a 10,000 gold lead, try 10,000 gold lead and an infernal soul to also poke them out. But again, that was very close for on the charm hitting. They managed to get out safely, and I assume a few resets are going to happen in. But again, another scrappy fight. Uh, for the squad, another catch that happened onto Shenzhen after the lilting lullaby was basically able to hit onto this Jinx, and this Camille able to follow up and get the kill. So if a few more of those picks happen, it doesn't matter that this Jinx has a Norn upgrade completed if you can't deal the damage as said Jinx uh, with those items. With YVL is a little bit pushed off.
Oh, looks like they're looking for a Lilting Lullaby here on Femboy. Are gonna try to go for an angle here. This Lilia is gonna try re-engage on the Samvite. So Super Mega Death Rocket's already down already. Oh. Oh, Vintage trading Jinx here. Oh, Camille Weiser earns just coming from the side, trying to come up to clear all these. Using hookshot. Unfortunate not being able to clear anybody else out.
You saw that was basically a 4v5 into the mid lane, and a 3v5 actually after YVL got caught out. That's because Why So Earnest was taking the inhibitor on the bot lane, and so despite it being a delayed 4 for 3 for the side of Claytrons, the fact that Samvete is basically able to trade himself for the skill onto the Jinx, making sure that his team manages to take out another inhibitor was very good. However, the problem is Jinx got a 1000 gold shutdown. So now
Yeah,
a third item has come in.
I do hope that I get to see some form of armor pen at some point, or armor pen item, uh, or at least some form of with as Lord Doms, possibly, because a lot of them have 3,000 or more HP above the Jinx, so having a way of actually being able to do some increasing damage would be nice. But we do have a little bit of engage here. Why is Sir Ernest poking her out? Mrs.
Yeah.
Kokame is being poked out by the Jinx right now. Super Mega Death Rocket not securing the kill. YVL using their mantra Inspire here to secure a shield on him. Stairs Gage coming out. Weiser Ernest going to be using hookshot to try to get over the wall. Oh, unfortunate. Not being able to use redemption here to redeem Ernest. And he's going to go down and shutdown is going to be claimed on him.
No, the shutdown is going to come in. Why someone is taking out the Orn was a good fight, a good catch. But Mrs. Combat taking in that Bart portal was definitely a questionable choice. However, uh, despite them losing the Camille and nearly losing Mrs. Kakombe, the Fulls and Happy squad is able to get all three inhibitors down. They still have a 12,000 gold lead, and they are looking to push in these waves and maybe try to go for the end, because the Camille is going to come up very soon, and the Camille is going to have TP, so you can still pressure the end as this full send happy squad, especially when you have three inhibitors down, and 4 to 5 items on most of the champions. It looks like they're going to just fall back out, let the super minion waves create as much
Look like they're trying to find a way to get this vision set up. I wonder if Femboy is looking maybe for an angle to steal. Unfortunately, vision plan, the squaring plan has been used on him. Weiser Ernst is also looking to try to close out this game as well and attacking him from both angles. Super Mega Death Rocket has been launched. Is that going to go for a steal? Unfortunately, not. This is going to be Elder Dragon for them. One more fight could possibly mean a victory here for them. Our Tempered Fate going a little bit wide here. Oh, unfortunately, Call of the Forge also not landing right now. Wilting Lullaby. And that is going to be it. And ladies and fellas, men, that is going to be all they wrote.
Yeah, that is going to be all she wrote for them. Uh, Apologies there. My mic decided to have a small issue. Uh, the Elder Drake coming in, a lot of damage happening in the that last team fight. It looked for a little bit uh the Full Send Happy squad was going to lose a little bit, simply because of how damaging simply because of how much damage Jinx was doing. But it's in the end they managed to bring it back. They managed to utilize the three inhibitors being down and the Elder Drake to get those last few kills and just end the game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like using Ernest here on the top side, just making sure to create a whole bunch of pressure because they can also just end by themselves with the items they had, especially with Trinity Force, Starex, and also Spirit Sojin. Them having so much pressure by themselves alone and possibly having a lot of pick potential on Jinx created a dynamic that the Jinx just couldn't be left alone, and that creating a situation that Femboy was also not able to get any vision, early vision, to try to secure a steal potentially, maybe trade 1-for-1 on a kill maybe at some point. Uh, Femboy did their best, tried their hardest, but unfortunately it was not in the cards for them.
No, it wasn't. Claytrons had a very good game one. Game two was a little bit closer. It almost looked like at some point they were going to manage to close it out, but Full Send Happy Academy definitely brought it back in game two, and then game three was just they managed to get an early lead, and they only grew and grew and grew and grew the lead until the Claytrons couldn't come back to it, and they ended the game. So congratulations to Full Send Happy Academy on the victory. They take the series 2-1 in the Division 1 week. I believe it is week 2 right now for the spring split of the Valence League.
That is definitely correct. Tune in next time for when well, maybe not us specifically, when the VL stream will be up again, featuring another set of awesome players playing their artists for this split number 1 of the 2024 VL split.
Have a good one, everyone.